welcome back to my video. Now, basically, till yesterday, we had discussed about Llama Index, Langchain, LLMs. We discussed about the basic concepts about Langchain, Llama Index, LLMs, models, AI models, all those things. And from today, it was like I was thinking or I was dying to get started with actual demos and where we could check the power of LLMs. I could explore different features of LLMs. So I have created an Google Collaboratory notebook, and please let me know if you want me to create a separate video about Google Collaboratory and how what is it and how to use it. So for now, what I have done is I have assumed that the person who is watching this video has an understanding of what is a notebook, Python 3 and Google Collaboratory, and has a basic idea about Python programming. Now rest I will be explaining in this video. See, basically Google Collaboratory provides us with this notebook functionality where we can execute each task. So each task can be executed in these code blocks, and the outcome is displayed below this code block or code section. Now we are going to use I would be creating a demo for only Langchain. I am not touching Llama Index or any other thing right now. So it is going to be in this video, we will be only focusing on Langchain and LLMs. So what I have decided is that we will be using an Hugging Face model. So those who don't know what is Hugging Face Hub or Hugging Face, so Hugging Face is basically a platform which provides pre-trained transformer based models. Now, what are transformer based models? I would suggest that you should refer to my first video, Basics about LLM, where I have explained what is a transformer architecture and what are transformer models. So in this case, what are we going to do? We are going to connect to Hugging Face, and we are going to access a model, and we will perform a specific task, and we will ask the model to perform a task for us using Langchain library. See, models, AI models are built to perform tasks for us as developers, where we can configure the AI models and ultimately help the end users who are going to use our applications. So now in this case, I'm using the pip command and I'm installing the LangChain library. Then I'm installing the transformers library. So transformers library is used to connect, like it is basically used to transform sentences or convert them into chunks or tokens, and then pre-process them and then send it to the LLMs. So these two libraries here are mainly used for GPUs. So right now, if you only want to run your LLM on CPU, then you do that without using these two libraries. But if you are planning to use GPU, then you have to use these two libraries. And I am doing the installation in a quiet mode, so I don't see all the verbose content here. It just displays me the status. So once this is done, this command is done, we move to the next command, which is we are setting an environment variable because we are going to connect to the Hugging Face, download their model, use their model. So for that we need to have access to Hugging Face, and that is provided to us using the access token. Please do let me know if you want me to explain more about environment variable or setting up the virtual environment and all those things in Python. I can create a separate video for that. But for now, I assume that you are aware of environment variables and in this stage we are defining an environment variable, and it executes properly because we don't see any error. So we go to the next stage of code. Now in this stage, what I am going to do is I have written an email text. So this is basically an email text, and I want the model to summarize this text for me. So I have put this long text. It can be, see, in a complex scenario, it can be a PDF document, it can be a like a like a book of PDF document, one document or multiple documents, and then you can pass that to the model and ask the model to summarize it for us. So how do we ask the model to summarize it for us? Is first we have to connect to the Hugging Face hub, and for connecting to the Hugging Face hub, we will use Langchain library, and then we will specify the model, because Hugging Face hub has lot of models, and from those models we only want to access this specific model from Facebook, which is an open source model, and we are passing the parameters. Now regarding the temperature parameter, when we are, see, basically the parameters temperature and max length, these parameters tell the model to be like how you should do the processing of the text, this text. If you specify 0, that means the value of temperature is 0. That means the model will be less random, it will be less creative and more accurate. So if you want the model to be like as creative as possible and as random as possible, then you can specify the max value, which is 2. Now, when it comes to max length, this defines the tokens, the length of the tokens we want the generated text to be. So when we get a response from the LLM, that response needs to be uh, with a specific token length. See, let me explain briefly about what are tokens and why do we need this property. So tokens, basically when we are sending a request to the LLM as a question, the LLM will break the question into tokens and will charge us based on the number of tokens, and the LLM will also charge us based on the length of the answer tokens. The answer which the LLM sends us is also broken down into tokens, and that is what we specify here. We don't want LLM to send us an answer which is more than 180 tokens. And here I have defined a simple function in Python, and this function will take first argument as an LLM and the second argument as an text, which is going to be this text. And I am commanding, or I am asking LLM to summarize this. So this is kind of an instruction, this is a prompt we are sending to the LLM. So this is the LLM which we have passed as an input parameter. Now we are sending a prompt to the LLM and asking it to perform the action of summarizing the text which we have passed as a second parameter. Now in the last command, I have called this summarize function here. I have passed this LLM reference and I have passed this email reference. So this is how the LLM has given me the response where it has summarized the result. Please ignore the first two statements because these are warnings from the libraries. But the answer from the LLM is this. We have got the answer. It is summarized the email text. So that is what we have achieved in the first demo. So this is the first part of the demo. If you want to know more about this specific model, you can go to this link and read about this model. Now this is the first part. We have just created a kind of hello world example using Langchain, where we are asking the model to summarize a text for us. Now the second step or the second stage is about a little complex step. Now, what I want to achieve in here is I want to give a question regarding, let's say, a maths question to LLM, and I want to ask LLM to solve this math question. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to import libraries. So Torch library is used for the GPUs. If you have to run the model on GPU, transformers I have already explained. We have the transformers to convert sentences into tokens or chunks or nodes. And then we have this chain, we have pipeline, we have prompt. So Hugging Face pipeline is a way where we are going to execute our model from Hugging Face, and we will be executing it using a pipeline. And chain is nothing but we will create a set of chains, but for this basic example it will be only a single chain where we will pass an LLM reference and a question, and it will give us an answer. So this is going to be a very basic example. Now we are going to use tokenizer because again we have to convert the question to tokens and send it to the LLM. So the first part is just a simple double quotes question or a template which we have created. It is a prompt template. So what is a prompt template? Prompt template is like, it is a template for us to actually send a question to the LLM, asking the LLM to give us an answer based on the prompt. Now it is like, see, why is a template used? Suppose you want to send some other information other than your question. So our question is going to be replaced at some point by this variable because we are using a placeholder, and our total text which is going to be sent to the LLM is this. We want LLM to answer us this question in step by step manner. So when you have to pass an example or when you have to pass a context to the LLM, that is when you can create a prompt template. Now a prompt template is created by having a question placeholder like this, and then asking the LLM that please answer me in this manner. Let's think step by step. Give me answer in a step by step format to the question which I am going to send you. Now, this is only a text in double quotes. Now, it becomes a prompt when we are passing it to the prompt template. Now, from the prompt template, now it becomes an actual prompt. So that is what we have done in this line of code. Now, in here, we are using Llama 2 LLM model, which is an open source model from Hugging Face. And actually, you won't be able to access this model directly. First, you will have to request access from Meta, Facebook, and that usually takes approximately 1 hour. And you will have to fill in a form, and you will have to specify the reason. Please do let me know if you want me to create a separate video, and I will do that, specifying how to access the Llama 2 open source model. Because right now if you just copy this code and run it, it won't work because you don't have access or your email doesn't have access to the like uh, the model. So that once that access is done, then you can reference the model name here. Once this is done, you have to pass the model name and you have to create a tokenizer. Now this tokenizer is going to be used by our pipeline. So first, before we send the data or we ask the question to the LLM using an Hugging Face pipeline, Hugging Face pipeline helps us to ask any question or send the prompt to a Hugging Face model. Now we have to create a pipeline of type text generation because it's a question answer kind of an scenario. So in this we have to pass a model, we have to pass a tokenizer and some other parameters which are required. Once this is done, then we can wrap this around a Hugging Face pipeline. Now, an Hugging Face pipeline will require the first pipeline parameter, and it will require the normal LLM parameters like temperature or max length. So this once this is done, it will load the model in memory in this notebook. And finally, we will create a chain. As I mentioned, this is going to be a basic example where we will not be having a sequence of chains. We will just have a single chain, and we will create a chain for a single prompt. We will pass the LLM reference, which is this, using a pipeline. And ultimately, as I had mentioned, that this question is going to be replaced at some point. So this is that point where we are defining the question, and we are going to print and invoke this chain, pass this question, and this question internally will be put up here, and then it will be sent as a prompt to the LLM using this prompt template, and finally it will print us the answer. So what is the question we are going to ask the LLM? It is going to be a maths question, so it's a very basic question. I have asked the LLM that I have 5 apples, I threw 2 apples, I ate one, how many apples do I have left? So the correct answer should be 2, and it should respond to us in a step by step manner. So this is basically the internal processing, but this is the final answer which we will get from the LLM. So it is telling us in step by step manner. First, you have 5 apples, then you throw away 2 apples, so you have 3 apples left. Next, you ate 1 apple, so you have 2 apples left. Therefore, you have 2 apples left. So it would, like anybody would assume that this has come from a human, but actually, this has come from an AI model. And AI model is clever enough to like calculate this math simple puzzle and give us an answer in an human like fashion. So what we have done in here is we have combined the power of LLM, which is generating text in an human like fashion, and the power of Langchain to create a pipeline to process the like question in a way that it is sent to LLM, where the LLM can perform the like can solve the puzzle and can respond back to us in a human like fashion. So this is what I have really learned about LLMs in terms of what are their capabilities, and this was a very basic example of Langchain. In future videos, we will create examples where we will have PDF document, and that PDF document will be sent as a context to the LLM, and we will ask a question based on the PDF document, and the LLM would respond to us in the format we want it to respond. So a lot of exciting videos are coming up, and then I will create videos about Llama Index, how and why to use Llama Index. We'll create videos about searching Wikipedia, searching on Google. So a lot of exciting stuff is coming up, and I'm really excited. I get really excited while creating these videos because AI and learning these LLMs is also a lot of fun. So please do subscribe to my channel, and I would be posting a lot of exciting videos. I hope you have liked this video. Thank you very much.